This episode of A Hero's Journey podcast is brought to you by JPS Computers out of Oregon, S&P Inc. right here in Las Vegas, and West Coast Tattoo Parlors. There's 2 locations here in Las Vegas. If you want a tattoo, that's a place to go see. Thank you to Val and Frankie for jumping on board with us. To the Rock Rage Radio listeners out there, as I say, we are everywhere. I am wearing sunglasses today because if anybody out there knows, if you wear contacts, I had a contact split and I kept it in my eye and was messing with it and kind of irritated my eye. So it's just sensitive to light today. So I'm going to be that douchebag guy wearing sunglasses on my podcast. So I apologize for that. But here's the thing. Today was just going to be a wrap up the year of 2023 episode, and it was going to be a content podcast. I was going to sit here and conversate with producer Chase. Originally, that was the plan, to sit and chat with him and talk about what we have in the past and what we got here in the future. I mean, we've got stuff like Dean Cain coming on here real soon, the wife of Tanked. Get the dirt on Tank, the TV show coming up. Travis Cormier from a bunch of shows out of New York and LA, and he's performing here. So I've got people coming on the show I'm excited about. But this one right here, I was on the phone with one of my best friends. I grew up with him. He knows me well. He's older than me, but, you just have you got this connection with people, and he's family. He's family to my family. My mom calls him the Cookie Monster. My parents treat him like he's their oldest son. But he's been battling with something that came on in the last 4 or 5 years, and that's Parkinson's. And that's a scary thing. When I saw him, he was shaking and he didn't want to tell me about it and what it was, and didn't want us to worry about it, but we all were. And last night I get a call, and he was kind of nervous because he was going in to do something that we're hearing a lot about, and that is stem cell. And those of you out there know that I raised $26,000 from my brother to get stem cell done for him, to help him with his heart, in hopes that they say that they know about this much on the head of a pin, what stem cell can do. And so we got it in my brother right away. And we'll talk to this next guest here about that, because he knows my brother very well. And I want to know, I want to follow this journey. So everybody, I call him Zig, but it's Zig Tognietti. He's one of my best friends. He's sitting in the hospital room right now. This was a last minute thing. I was driving over here to do this and said, jump on with me if you don't mind. And let's find out what you got going on, and what we can bring him back later and find out how this has helped him, and throw up some prayers. So Zig, how you doing, buddy?
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah. So
how's everything? Good.
No, I'm good. You're sitting. Where are you sitting right now?
I'm in the doctor's office. In between the surgery is kind of 2-part, where they take your blood out of your arm and then get you prepped up, and then they take the blood back to the stem cells back to the lab and mix them up with the blood and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of been sitting around the waiting part for about an hour and a half right now.
So they use your own blood and do what they do, and then enter it back in your body?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so that's different than what Cody had done. My brother, as you know, you've done so much, and I can't thank you enough, giving Cody a job that works within his limitations, and being there for him as a friend, a brother, whatnot. But they took what's that? An umbilical cord, and spun that up and put that in him. So what's different between that and this that you're going through right now?
Well, the stem cells just come from my own body rather than an umbilical cord. So they take it usually out of the hip. They took mine out of my stomach. They just took about, I think 5 or 6 big long tubes of fat out of my stomach So I kind of got liposuction and stem cell therapy all in one. So
Okay.
I would have done this a long time ago had I known, right? So,
um, so how bad is Parkinson's for you?
well, they say there's like 4 stages, and I think I'm in stage 3. So stage 3 is where you start to become a lot more shaky. Your nerves kind of bother you. It's kind of hard to sleep. You have joint pain. Your hands. And mine's on the left side, so my left hand is a lot slower than my right hand. If that makes sense. So it's
Yeah.
a lot more stiff. So, and then the next stage is the end stage where you're taking so much that you can't feed yourself or walk or do anything like that, and you just sit around and wait to die. So
Oh, that's a little morbid. Well,
yeah,
that's not going to be the
yeah, a
case
little
because
more.
we're out trying to make some moves. And you were
Yeah,
able to pull this off because last night I saw that you had a GoFundMe going, and you were able to pull this off. And I appreciate anybody and everybody who helped out and to get you in there. But I was excited and to see that you were in there getting help. But
yeah,
now I want to follow the journey. I want everyone out there, the Hero's Journey podcast. This is one of my best friends I grew up with, Zig Tognietti. I call him Zig. He has Parkinson's, stage 3, and you decided to take this approach. Why? What was it about? Did you read about this? What was it that you saw that said, I got to take this shot with stem cell?
well, it's the pricing was a lot cheaper than a lot of the other places. They wanted this place is less than the 25,000 that like the Cayman Islands or somebody going off out of the United States, wanted. So there was one in Portland that Cody did. I talked to her about that. She said it was going to be closer to like 25 to 30,000 for it.
Right.
And she's not accredited. But so I just was searching in the internet on Facebook and stuff and found this place and started checking it out. And this guy is a doctor. He's an accredited doctor. He's been doing it for 16 years. So, it's not like a fly by night thing. So,
No, of course. But I mean, are there cases where people have said that this has helped them and that's what made you want to do this? Okay.
Yeah, there was because in fact, one of the people that are here has MS, and this is second time back, and he said it works wonderfully. He said his worked probably within several weeks of him being here. He was, and MS is basically kind of like Parkinson's, where it's debilitating and you kind of degenerate over time,
Right.
to a point where you can't walk and move and stuff. So he had said that it worked, and some other people had said that it worked, and I just kind of read more up on it, and I thought, this is a reasonable price. It sounds good. It's somebody that's an accredited doctor that has, that was my thing. I didn't want to go to some place that was just like, kind of a hole in the back alley somewhere by some
Right.
nurse.
Well, who's the doctor? You're sitting in his office right now.
Dr. Rachel.
Dr. Rachel?
Yeah, Dr. Rachel, yeah.
And is that out of Portland, Oregon, or where?
No, that's here in Chicago.
Oh, you're in Chicago right now.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I thought you were sitting in Portland. Okay.
No, I'm
So
in
this
Chicago.
was you've put everything into this. I mean, we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. I just didn't know that you were having to go to Chicago to do this. I'm sorry. I mean, out of all things, I mean, we talked quite a bit, and I didn't put those two together. So I'm glad you're getting to share this because I want to see this is going to work for you. Let me start by saying I know this is going to work for you. This is something that now is this something that you're going to have to go back and do again later, or is this something that is happening just a one-time deal? What is it? What did they say?
Well, it's hard to say because every case is different. So they say some people will come back a year or two later to do it again because they want to kind of freshen up or kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Tailgate on the first session, just kind of clean up everything.
Of course.
Other people don't come back for years. It's not a cure. That's definite, but it is something that helps prolong things. And yeah, go ahead.
No, because you take meds every day. Is that correct? Just to function.
Yeah.
I've been out on the golf course with you, and we've had to stop because you forgot to take meds and go out and do that. So, and Cody lives with a cocktail. My brother suffers from heart disease, and if he doesn't have his meds, it's horrible.
Yeah, and I take 43 pills a day. You can believe that.
Wow.
43. So it's like every 4 hours you got to take pills. And I'll tell you what it does with some of these pills that I take. It affects your brain. It really does. It affects you have some memory loss. You have some cognitive abilities that don't quite function as well as they used to. So that was another thing that I was worried about, is because I didn't want to, because of all the carbidopa, levodopa I'm taking, and mantidine and pramipexole. A lot of those things can weigh upon your mind and kind of mess with your mind a little bit. And I wanted to do this because if this helps stop the disease and everything, because right now I'm not that shaky, but maybe that I can taper off on the medication or stop taking it altogether.
Right.
That would be ideal.
I'm sure.
Because then I get my my brain back to 100%.
Wow. Well, there's one, because I love you, I know you, I wanted to make a bunch of jokes, but this isn't a funny thing. It's not.
Well,
No, for real.
It's not, but me.
I do know you.
You gotta make fun of things like this in life because it's just life, and we're all here for a good time, not a long time, but a good time,
Yeah.
And
but
I joke about it all the time because what else am I gonna do?
Right, but right now you taking the time. I put you on the spot. I asked you if you would share your journey with the Hero's Journey, listeners, the fans out there who follow Chase and I on the show. I wanted to know if you would do this so that way maybe it helps somebody else. Maybe this is a path for them, but we're going to check in with you and make sure that your progress. I want you to jump back on here and talk about it, like maybe you come out and we go golfing again and you come in studio and we talk about it in person about the progress that you're making. Cause I honestly believe this is going to work for you. And you put everything into it. It shows. I mean, you just jumped on a flight and went to Chicago to do this. So that means you had to stay in a hotel, do all this stuff. And I didn't know that when I was talking to you yesterday, I was talking to you from a hotel room. I had no clue. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's no big deal. I mean, it just came together kind of real suddenly, over the last, I think, month is basically when I found this doctor online and found the True Stem Cell Therapy, it's called. And I think they're based out of Florida, but they have an office here. And, it's exciting. It really is exciting to kind of think that, is this going to help me? I think it will. I mean, I have good thoughts and good vibes, on my side from you and your brother and some other people. And I think it's gonna work out.
Well, the whole family, the Hopkins family is pulling for you and everybody who knows you. And we're going to wrap this up here real quick, but I just want, because I know you're sitting in a doctor's office. I know you jumped in on here for me, and I appreciate it. And but we love you, and we're going to follow this journey, and I'm going to follow you, because we're going to talk through this and whatnot. You're my friend, but I want the people out there to know, how this is going to go for you. And we're going to follow this. And if when you start feeling better, let me know. Cody said that he was feeling almost instant in his hands and feet, and his eyes went white, instead of this jaundice yellow that was in his eyes, almost immediately he felt this warmth throughout his body.
And he's doing really good too,
Is he? Okay, good. Good. That's man, I hate to wrap this up with you, but Scott and I, we failed to mention your name when Scott Hartman was on, Big Blotto was on the show. We failed to mention your name, but now you're on it, and you're going to be back again, and we're going to talk about this stuff together. But it's about the journey. The hero's journey is we wake up the hero of a story, our story, every day, and you're taking control right now. You looked up something and went, this is what I got to do. I can't just sit around taking meds and waiting to deteriorate. I got to do something and move this forward. And maybe Cody doing what he did, because, my brother was, as everyone may know, may not know, he was given 6 weeks to 3 months to live. And it's been 3.5 years now. And, and he's a fighter. Cody is a fighter. Yeah. So, we remember that with Uncle Gary, the way Uncle Gary was, and he was given a day to live. And it was like 4 years later, and he had to get hit by a car seriously, he did. Yeah. And there's a story behind that. So, and I'm going to leave everybody with this, because most people don't know my buddy Zig. I always crack jokes and make fun of you when it comes to, there was a time he always goes to the same story. So I'm just going to share it. I'm going to share this story. They called him White Magic when we were young. And I used to live in L.A., Hollywood, and I used to go play basketball in Riverside, on Riverside Drive next to Disney. And I lived right across the street in this really nice court. And the guys from like Will Smith and Boyz II Men, all these people will come out and play every Tuesday and Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we'd get together and play. So you came out for a weekend, and we put together a little team, just a pickup. It was a pickup team. And it was you, me, buddy, I think Willie, I can't remember who else. And we ran the court for like 9 games. They couldn't get us off. And it was because of this guy, Zig, White Magic, and your hook shot and your no-look passes and, your threes and whatnot. So that was a big heyday. And now you don't have to talk about it. You can't say now it's out there. It's on social media. Yeah. White Magic. Some guys were calling you white chocolate, which was hilarious, but White Magic. So hopefully that put a smile on your face, bud. Is there anything you want to leave the listeners out there with as you're sitting there in Chicago waiting for them to put this in your body? Stem cell.
I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, really, it's just, keep me in your thoughts and prayers, and we'll see what happens. I mean, this is a work in progress, and it's gonna help me with not only the Parkinson's, which is the most important part, but also with my brain function and weight loss and stuff like that. So, next time I come to see you in Vegas later this year, we'll have more to talk about, and we can update this, say 6 months from now, and see where I'm at health-wise. And, and I just want to thank everybody for listening and giving the ear to this cause, because, Parkinson's is a pretty big disease, and there's a lot of people that have it. And it would be nice to be able to find something like stem cells to help alleviate the progression of the disease and slow things down and make things a lot more livable,
Well
make
said.
life worth living, as they say. Yeah.
Well said, bud. Well, I love you. And I'm gonna have to wrap this up. Don't go anywhere, but I'm going to wrap up the show. I want to thank Chase, David sitting behind there, who's learning how to do this stuff. Producer Chase, thank you, dude.
Pleasure as always, man.
Yeah.
Stay strong, brother.
Yeah, stay strong, Zig. I love you. I love you, bud. I want to shout out to the producers. Producer Chase. I want to shout out to the sponsors. Sticky Paw Studios, Rock Rage Radio listeners out there. Thank you so much. As they say, we are everywhere. If you want a tattoo, West Coast Tattoo Parlors right here in Las Vegas. 2 locations. SMP Inc. Chase and I both. They help rebuild our confidence, that's for sure. And if I didn't get into that, SMP is where they put, what do they call that? It's
scalp micropigmentation.
There you go. It's almost like tattooing your head and filling in the spaces that, you're losing hair. And I was known for my hair, you guys. I really was. And it was my thing. And starting to lose my hair, I just... my brother talked me into shaving it, before he's like, before I leave this world, I want to see you with the shaved head. And I did for him. And then I went, what did I do? Because it wasn't growing back. I had all that hair. So anyway, they helped me get that back, SMP Inc. And then True Beauty by Trevor. Thank you, dude. He's one of my good buddies here in town. I'm just proud of him. Again, my name is Brian Hopkins. This is a Hero's Journey podcast. Thank you, Zig Tognietti, my buddy Zig, for sharing your journey. We're going to get back to you in about 6 months and find out where you are. And I'm going to see you holding a hand like so. All right? All right. I love you, dude. I'll see you guys.
Dream, and I believe it's coming around to me.